think that not doing what you do every day is already a great thing in one's life. But personally, I don't just sit down and look at the sky. I'm always doing something. Now, if I garden, it's marvelous for me. When I cook, it's a marvelous relaxation. I work, but it's pleasurable. I can still think about my work, but I don't have to do the same thing that I do all week long, just like making dresses. I don't know about creativity, but I would have liked to be a surgeon. Yes, absolutely. This is the thing that I wanted to do the most. I had great passion, still do, for medicine and helping people. As a matter of fact, I am a very nervous and intense person, and I yell and I scream and I do a lot of things. But when something happens, if somebody hurt themselves, whatever it is, I'm very cool in the front of blood, in the front of very tragic situation. I know that I could have been a great surgeon or a doctor, but here I am cutting dresses, you know. Since the house was very old, very, very old, and I couldn't have a high ceiling, I had to have very low furniture. The very first piece of jewelry that I designed was a turtle. I don't know if I wear one today, or this one, the mother to this one, just a plain gold turtle. So people start giving me turtles, and then when I came here in Louisboro 14 years ago, I saw 3 turtles standing on a big stone in the pond. And I said to myself, if I ever get that house, I'm going to call it La Tortue, which means turtle in French. So I got the house, dug the pond into a beautiful swimming pool, enormous if it's not beautiful, and we called the house La Tortue. From there on, my dears, forget it. Everybody's giving me turtles. Well, look, these are brass for cigarettes. This one is another one. This is an amusing one. It comes from the Philadelphia Museum. It's a reproduction of what they have there. It's got a turtle head with something else at the back. Shall I show you my trompe-l'oeil? I made myself a little painting with all the extra turtle I didn't know where to put. Well, in an old Louis XV frame, I just put all those little turtles I didn't know what to do with. You know, people bring me turtles for all kinds. I have here a very, very antique old Chinese button as a turtle. Also, a nutshell, which has no value at all, but it's there. I have turtle that cost 2 cents and turtle that cost lots of money. This is a turtle that cost $1. I got it through the mail order. I'm a great mail order believer. It's for stamps. You know, you put the roll of stamps in here. I'm out of stamps. This one that comes from Italy with a ballpoint. Now, you know, so I've got turtles. Mike? I think that the day that I will see that this house is finished or I won't do anything with the garden will not be because it doesn't need moving or changing or improvement or whatever. I think it will mean that I am disinterested in that particular project and therefore I should move on to something else. When I come out at midnight and see what this garden is today and what it was 8, 9 years ago, I am rather pleased with myself. I mean, I don't say that very much, but I am, because good or bad, this is what I've done. I've done it with love. Now it's overgrown, it's got too many weeds, but it was nothing but swamp 10 years ago, so I think that I've accomplished something, and I'm thrilled with it. Did you see the little plums? Come, I'll show you something. What is this? It's a peach tree, no?
No.
What is it?
It's not a fruit tree.
Oh, it's a quince. Look. We came to America because in 1936 in Europe, in Paris, there were some disturbances. There was a guy named Hitler in Germany, and maybe we had enough foresight to decide to leave then. So many people didn't have our luck. We came and it was hard. I didn't work at first, I just minded 2 small boys, and we started by making a very small little group of clothes. I wouldn't even call it a collection. My father was a tailor and my mother a dressmaker, and the shop was in the back of where we lived, and so when I came back from school, I went right through the small factory of the days. And I learned to pick up pins and cut linings and do certain things like this when I was a very, very tiny girl. And every time I did something a little better than another, I would get an extra 2 francs or something like this. I don't remember how much. So gradually, here I am. It's lovely here, don't you think? I wish I could stay for the rest of the week. But, you know, in a couple of days, and nights too, I will be showing the fall collection for 1966. You know what that means? It means, I don't know for how many hours before the show I will have to just struggle, fight, rip. I go through such tantrums, everybody hates me, and everybody's afraid to approach me. After all, I will be judged by a room full of buyers, you know, tough professionals, all of them. Yet, it's something that has to be done, but I'll never get used to it. It's always hard to start. It's always hard to present something new. I get palpitation and butterfly in my stomach before the show. I go to absolutely two places. I don't sleep at all for days, nights rather, because I'm so keyed up and my nerves are on edges, and it's very difficult. But since there is no way of stopping, I just go on and try to do